So, in my last video I presented you with the project that I'm currently working on, which is a new horror game, and since that last video I realized the game was kinda boring, so I decided I will add some new features, and today I'm gonna show them to you. Also, join my Discord server, the link is in the description down below. So, before adding any new features I had to fix all the existing problems from the previous video, the first of which was the buses that you would have to check were always set so that you would have to press false. And I fixed that by adding a chance segment in the code, which makes it so that every bus has a certain percentage of chance being a correct bus, and now it works, at least for now. And the next thing that I wanted to do was to make the game a little bit more exciting and action packed. So I brainstormed a couple of ideas to add to the game, and what I came up with is that the more sanity you lose, the more the game gets harder. And I did that by adding more obstacles that you would have to overcome, the first of which was a new type of monster. I don't have a name for it yet, but basically when you hit a certain amount of sanity, these monsters start to spawn in front of you. At first they aren't dangerous, but when they get their white eyes, you have 5 seconds to click on them 5 times, or else they will kill you. And then a minor feature I added is that when you lose some sanity, there is a chance for a quick and loud screen flash to happen. This is just to make a fake tension release moment in the game, and after that I also came up with the idea to add an obstacle that makes it so that your camera starts shaking at a random point in time once you drop below 80 sanity. And to get rid of the shaking you have to press W to start looking at the sky for 4 seconds. Also, you are unable to turn back once you start shaking. Then, because I didn't know how to add shaking on the camera, I just have to manually program so that the camera rotates left and right. And that's how I coded the entire shaking process. And then I added that you can relatively know where the sanity level is by looking at the color of the street lamp in front of you. And the more purple it is, the less sanity you have. So these are the mechanics that I added so far. I wanted to make the game even more unique, so feel free to comment on your ideas in the comment section. The next thing I wanted to improve was the overall look and feel of the game, so I started with the graphics and I added some grass and trees and made some basic terrain. But I quickly realized that this is just decreasing the engine's performance, so I stopped with the graphic design for some time and moved on to a really important part of every horror game, which is sound design. Because, as you may know, you can break the immersion of a player just by adding some silly music, so you have to be really careful with sound design. So I first added the buzz sound, and this is how it sounds now. I still have to tweak it a lot though, and then I moved on to the monster sounds. I first found some stepping sound and then tweaked it in Audacity so it sounds better, and then I imported everything into Unreal Engine, did some coding, and now every time the monster moves it makes this sound. After that I also added some breathing sounds. I recorded myself breathing and then just tweaked the sound so it sounds like this. And after some coding, now the breathing gets louder when the monster gets closer to you. I also added the whistling sound when the camera is shaking by recording a C that was pitched very high on my piano. And I also recorded some minor sound effects like papers turning, flashlight turning on and off, etc. And now I'm looking for ideas for the story, ending, and the overall gameplay for the game. So if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. I also tried to replace some models like the bus model and the monster model, but there were some problems, like I wasn't able to import textures from Blender to Unreal Engine. And the main problem for the monster was just general lack of ideas, and these are some of my worst tries. Also, after doing some playtesting, I noticed that the gameplay is a bit too hard, so I plan to fix that in the future as well, because for now there are too many things that you have to pay attention to win the game, and the sanity drains rather quickly, so I will have to fix those issues as well. And now, if you want to see, here is the general gameplay of this unfinished prototype. So here we have my game. I'm sorry if you hear the fan in the background, I have to keep it on just so that my computer doesn't crash. So as you can see, the graphics have improved a little bit and the sounds also. So yeah, let's start. Now the first boss comes, it's number 3, 8754. This one is false. And you could hear the footsteps right now, and there is no monster yet, there's just a purple light, just sort of acts like a placeholder. So the next boss is number 10. 410, this one is false as well. Most of the bosses are still false, but there are a couple of instances where the boss will be true. So 27592, as you can see, this one is false too. I will let the monster come a little bit closer just so you can hear the breathing. Okay guys, so here you can hear the breathing of the monster. If you have any ideas for the monster design or anything else, as I said, drop them in the comments down below. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.